All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Baharakakwaдаsh. I would like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect and 1/3. The Lord's will this video be edifying, exhorting, and comforting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Baharakakwaдаsh. And as the title reads, the Underground Railroad through a biblical lens. And pretty much I wanted to share with you, sincere brothers and sisters, if you haven't seen it, me and the brothers here, all right, me and the brothers here in Rochester, New York, about a year ago, we did a GMS on location, okay, kind of like a mini documentary on the Underground Railroad through the biblical lens, because where we're stationed here in Rochester, one of the first stops that our ancestors coming from the south, okay, heading north, crossing the the Mason-Dixie line, which separates the south from the north. All right, one of the first stops when they got into New York to get to Canada is they had to go through Rochester, New York, where the Lord has us, and they went to what it's called Station Zion. Now, let me make sure the audio and video is good. And they went to, all right. So I'm just, I can take myself off the screen now. I'm just going to go through a little information. All right. You've had recently John Mark Reiser. Okay. He did a video. He did a so-called debunking video, on our history. And I thought how beautiful it is to bring out some more edification on our history pertaining to the slavery. Now, let me see where I can go to get to let's go here. All right, playlist. All right, so I did real quick, I did a playlist, as you can see right here. All right, so let's go here. All right, so I have a playlist. I thought I could show the whole list. Okay, let's see. I thought I could show you the whole. Oh, okay, it's over here. Check this out. All right. Just give me a second. Oh, look at that. Did it freeze? I got Erica Shatan. So I did a playlist right here. All right, there it is. Thank you, Yabashim Shai. So here's the playlist. Me and the brothers, about a year ago, as you can see. It didn't get much views. We weren't going live as much because we didn't have a lot of brothers and sisters then. So I'm pulling this out now. If brothers or sisters are interested, because you have a lot of brothers and sisters, a lot of Judites, Reubenites, Ephraimites and Gadites, where they go into their history here in America. And that's pretty much what we did. So right here, all right, one of the Underground Railroads that we had here in Rochester, New York, was called Station Zion. So it's very spiritual. All right. One of the first hidden Underground Railroads. When you got into Rochester, New York, it was called Station Zion. And Rochester, New York was actually founded by a slave-owning Edomite by the name of Nathaniel Rochester. This is why it says they call their lands after their own names, you see. So let's see. Let's put this in real quick. Let's put in, check this out. The Underground. Why don't you debunk this, John? Why don't you debunk this, John Mark Reiser? So right here you have the Underground Railroad. And this is what our people had to go through, okay, in the midst of escaping chattel slavery. All right. So right here is what you call the Mason-Dixie line. So Jake had to escape from here and head north to proclaim their freedom. But even in the midst of this, while they were trying to get their freedom, if they were found in any of these states, Esau would kidnap them and then bring them back down to the southern slave states. And sometimes he would even take freed Israelites and bring them down here into slavery. This is why you have the movie The 12 Years a Slave. Now let's get two precepts. What's that? Jeremiah 50 and 33. He refused to let him go. I'm going to go back to that, but we gotta build these lessons off with scriptures. All right. Let's see. Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together," which proves this is here in modern day Babylon or modern day Egypt on a spiritual level, because here you have Judah and Israel being oppressed together. Judah and Israel wasn't oppressed together in the Babylonian captivity. Judah and Israel wasn't oppressed together under the Persian and Mede captivity. Judah and Israel wasn't oppressed under the Greek nor Roman captivity, but here in the Americas, or Babylon, the virgin daughter Babylon the Great, or spiritually Sodom and Egypt, this is where they were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So even when we escaped, all right, a chattel slavery from the south and fled north, you had kidnappers or slave catchers, all right, that would go through these states to look for Jake and bring them back down here, okay? And that's them refusing to let them go, and also them furthering our affliction, which I believe that's Zechariah or Zephaniah. Is that Zephaniah 2? Let me see if I can snag that real quick. Let's get that into Google. All right. My spirit's been heavy on our slavery lately. Okay. And let's see if we can snag that real quick. I don't have nothing written down. I just wanted to bring this out for you brothers if you wanted to check it out. Let's go here. Furthered our affliction. No, that's not it. It's the one in Zephaniah. Let's see. Let's put it like this. There it is. Zephaniah 1 and 15. Check this out. Oh, Zechariah. I'm sorry. So I wasn't. All right. Zechariah 1 and 15. "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease." Right. Everything we've gone through, which makes me think of Psalm 73. Everything we've gone through, even in the history of the Americas, is spoken lawfully. Okay. The mere fact that someone, okay, like this can go to, can go to Israel Hill, all right, and claim to debunk, okay, ex slaves and their identification as Israelites, and you just come through with white Christianity. This isn't brotherly love. This is what they would call Christ-like. But this is exactly the spirit that Esau's in. They don't care about our affliction, all right? They speak lawfully about our oppression. And then when we stand up while on the Bible, using the Bible, they come to basically just smack you back down again. So you can do nothing against the truth. This even shows us even further that who we are as a people by the oppression that Esau Edom puts on us, And it says, "For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction." Okay, I put furthered. So see, Esau Edom first with the rest of these heathens, they forward our affliction. All right. And case in point, going back to the Underground Railroad. All right. When, we had to flee captivity, because even early Christians, they used the Bible to promote slavery. But the Bible also speaks about after a certain amount of years, you are to be freed from that servitude. So even though Esau Edom used the Bible to justify his enslavement of us, which it was prophecy, but he did grotesque acts that the Bible speaks against when you have a Hebrew servant. Okay. So this even itself shows you the further affliction that Esau has put upon us. But Jeremiah 50 and 33, "The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And this is what? Let my people go." But see, we're going to be let go by deliverance, because no man shall buy you. So this is all just further proven who we are, and especially that in the Americas. Okay. So I just want to go and show you this. So right here, we did a documentary, and it's about 10 videos. Okay. It's let's see, it's each video, let's see, 1 hour, 2 hour. It's about 2-3 hour documentary, but we broke it up into half an hour parts, as you can see. And we went to two main stations. We actually went there, brothers. We actually went to the first station, which is called Station Zion, and then we went all the way down to what you call Kelsey's Landing, okay, where it was by a river of water. Okay, we actually went to the Kelsey's Landing, what Jake had to go through, you know, and it was an ordeal. All right, we actually walked and went there. It was about being delivered. It was an ordeal. And here's the body of water that Jake had to sneak through. Okay, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like they could walk down the street. They had to literally go houses to houses, hiding, trap doors, hiding under carriages. You know, while you got Esau and his slave catching posse and their bloodhound dogs. It was terrible. The history of the Underground Railroad, all right, was terrible. And let me show you. Let's see if I can pull a timeline. Underground Railroad. Let's put stations. All right, yeah, start to end. See, it says the system used by abolitionists between 1800 and 1865 to help enslaved African Americans escape to free states. But even when they got in those free states, okay, it was terrible. Now I got a piece of paper. Just give me a second. I mean, this is history. Okay, this is literal history of we went through. Now, let's put this in. I want to show you something. Okay, let's put in past operators. Just give me a minute. Past operators of the Underground Railroad. All right. Now, the one I want is from the library. I pulled this out not too long ago. And I think this is it. Look, see? Rock City Library. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if this is it right here. Okay. Pretty messed up history. This is the exact paper that I have in my possession, and this is what we printed out. Okay. So right here, this is the end. But see, this is all in Rochester. This is where we're at today, brothers and you sisters. See, look at this. Right here, when the first Underground Railroad station for Rochester, New York. Because see, look, this is Brighton, Parrington. These are all leading more south. So this is the northest you can get while still being in America. So right here, okay, where is it? Let me go down. Right here is the first Underground Railroad station, and it was the Zion Church, or referred to as Station Zion. Okay, very spiritual, but this is what our people went through. All right, so if you look, all right, and you look right here, this is the southest you could get. Then it keeps going north. But notice how they had to go from house to house, and these houses are far away. All right, Parma. All right, Webster is very far from Parma from Penfield, and these places predominantly are racist Edomite, well-off neighborhoods to this day. Brighton, Parrington. All right, you go to them today. You know, we don't go there. You know, but they're nicer. And you know, it's funny. All these stations here in Rochester are now very ghetto. Okay, they're very downtrodden. All right, all these places. All right, and right here, Kelsey's Landing, they actually desecrated a Frederick Douglass memorial that they put up in commemorance to like civil rights. So see, Esau has a perpetual hatred for Jake. Okay, he has a perpetual hatred. Let's get that in Amos real fast. All right, Amos 1:11. So why don't you debunk this? You know, debunk this history, man. Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword. Now let's go back, building off, furthering our affliction. Okay, so here it is. They had to have these homes where they would shelter you. But why couldn't, once they crossed the Mason-Dixie line? All right, let's pull some Google out. Let's watch this. Why, when they crossed, let's put what was the Mason-Dixie line? The line was established to end a boundary dispute between the British colonies of Maryland and Pennsylvania and Delaware. Let's put for slavery. The Mason-Dixie line, also called Mason and Dixie line, originally the boundary between Maryland and Pennsylvania in the United States. In the pre-Civil War period, it was regarded together with the Ohio River as the dividing line between slave states south of it and free soil states north of it. You see that? You see? So this was a line that was erected to basically say, once you cross this line, you are free. But let's put in this one. Solomon Northrop. Northrop kidnapping. Let's try that. Let's see what comes up. In 1841, Solomon Northrop, a free-born African-American from New York, was kidnapped by two white men and enslaved for 12 years in the deep South before he could prove his legal right to freedom. See that? However, his liberation from bondage was exponential. Most enslaved freed blacks never regained their freedom. You see that? This all happened here in Babylon. And how can you tell someone that when you find the slavery in the Bible, but the curses of slavery, and you're going to tell these people that went through all this that they don't fit that ticket, they don't fit that bill? And then you have even further very spiritual information, how the first underground station, when they got to Rochester, New York, which Rochester is named after Nathaniel Rochester, who established Rochester, which now is one of the fifth poorest and dangerous cities. Now he established Rochester off the backs of slaves, okay? Off the backs of slaves. And then they made a line, right? They made a line that, all right, if you get here, you're free. But then when you pass that line, you got to deal with slave catchers. You got to be sheltered in place. You got to be hidden. See, this is Esau not letting us go, forwarding our affliction with a perpetual hatred. It says, Amos 1:11, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. See? And then when you were freed in 1865, right? Look at this. Freed in 1865. Just real quick, watch this. See? The Freedmen's Act of 1865. Who was freed in 1865? Enslaved people. So Israelites that were enslaved were freed. Now check this out. When did check this out, KKK start? Let's see. Look at this. So we were freed in 1865, but also the KKK started in 1865. Do you see this? Do you see the compare and contrast in the relationship between so-called blacks and so-called whites, which we know biblically today is so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Esau? All right, Jacob and Esau. You see, this is the perpetual hatred. This is what was told in Genesis 3. All right, and this was also two nations are in thy womb. Okay, you can see this. You can see the comparison of what we face today in America is also found biblically. All right, so it was on my spirit to bring this out for you, brothers, and I titled the playlist Underground Railroad Through a Biblical Lens, and that's what we did. Okay, we went and embarked on the first and the last underground railroad station here in Rochester. So we went to Station Zion, and then we drove all the way to Station Kelsey, which was a ravine. Okay, it was a deep ravine that we had to travel down on foot to get to this landing. All right, and this was the last stop that Jake would make it to until they were taken on a steamboat through Lake Ontario to get to Canada for their freedom. But then don't forget what happened when you got to Canada. You had the British oppressing Gad and the Native Americans. This is why you had Native American boarding schools. So, hey, man, you can't escape these curses, okay? These curses, what does that say? They shall pursue thee, all right, in Deuteronomy. These curses shall pursue thee. Let's snag that real quick. And that's exactly what has happened to us. Okay, because no one else can tell us on a biblical standpoint what has happened to us, why it's happened to us, and what's going to happen to those that did this to us. No one biblically tells us justice for our raping, murdering, robbing, and slavery. They never tell us that. They never talk about that. They don't give us. Christianity does not answer questions for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. In fact, they actually skip past it when Christianity was used to keep us enslaved. Vocab doesn't talk about that. Why don't you go into the nasty history of Christianity and slavery here in America? You know, why don't you go into that? Now, I want to grab this in particular precept, or excuse me, this curse, which we're going to use as a precept, where it says, see, Deuteronomy 28:45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee. Were we not pursued from the west coast of Africa, from the Romans to the Greeks? Were we not pursued? Were we not pursued by the Babylonians? See, we can show you biblically on an Israelite standpoint, and then show you on the aspect of from the vision of Daniel in the 10 toes. See, we can talk about the slavery in Egypt, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian, Mede, Greek, Roman, and everybody knows that those. But then when you fast forward to the British and the Americas and the enslavement of those people, that's the same biblical narrative that the Israelites went through, that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans went through. We are going through the same narrative of enslavement by a foreign empire that the biblical Israelites went through, and you're going to tell me that we ain't the biblical Israelites? Are you kidding me? When you look at the vision of Daniel and you break it down, we are still enslaved under the Roman Empire today through what? The Virgin Babylon the Great coming out as the little horn of the British Empire, all right? And who did the British have in slavery? Who did the Europeans have in slavery? See, they're the Edomites. We're the Israelites. When you look at history, it's plain. There's nothing to talk about. When you look at the track record of Israel's captivity and you compare it to today, you can see the evidence. And it says, shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkeneth not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee this day, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Now, real quick, let's look up Israel light captivities timeline. Let's check that out. See what they got. Now, let's see. A brother, there's a picture going around that even goes into today. Let's put in including America. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so right here, look at this right here. Thawada Abanawi Halbashim El Shai. Look at this, brothers. I want you to look at this. Somebody come look. Look. So Egypt, okay. Then Assyrian, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. Babylonian, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. Persian, which the Medes, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. Greek, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. Roman, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. American, Daniel 2, Daniel 7. You see that? You see that right here? Okay. Now they got the name Yahuwah, but it's Yahweh. Well, that's okay. They just, they mispronounced it, but the captivities are correct. All right. And this is why further in our affliction, we have what you have today as the Underground Railroad, us escaping. This is all a exodus yet again. And Jake tried to do this during the medieval times. That's why you had the Christian Crusades. See, that's Jake's spirit. Let's put that in real quick. I believe the brother Marar in our church, the Lord gave him a beautiful blessing with this cat. See, I kind of go more into the captivities today. He goes into back then, but it's beautiful because it's full circle. So Christian Crusade. What is the Christian Crusade? The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated, supported, or sometimes directed by the Latin Church in the medieval period, right? The Eastern Roman Empire. Best known, these Crusades are those to the Holy Land in a period. See? So if you, brother, look, see, intended to recover Jerusalem. So it's the same spirit, all right? We, as Israelites, if you brothers didn't know, we were the ones ruling in the Holy Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, or the medieval time period. That was us, okay? And in that time period, you had portions of our people trying to make an exodus back to the promised land. What did Jake do when they got to the Americas? What did they do when they got to Americas? They did the same thing, okay? They tried to escape back to the promised land. And if you look, a lot of these underground railroad stations, you know, they actually had some spiritual names. Look, Gideon right here. Let's see. Let me see. There was Gideon, and then which Gideon was a judge. Look, Zion. You see, you had Zion. Look, Isaac. Okay, so it's very spiritual. It's very spiritual. The process, all right, that our people went through, and the names that befell them during this in Exodus, okay, was found in the medieval times and is also found biblically in the times of when we did know we were Israelites. So even when we didn't know we were Israelites, we still had signs and evidence on us as a people, you know, that showed us who we are. So the evidence is overwhelming in biblical history and what you call historical or secular history. So, you know, and I humbly believe this is why the Lord put it on our spirit to do about a year ago, GMS on location. See, but got about 28 views. But you know, I just wanted to bring this edification back out. I'm not telling you, brothers, by commandment to go look it up, but the Spirit jumped on us, and we compiled a documentary of a lot of history, including some that I've spoken about today, and also you know, other history about us pertaining to the Underground Railroad from a biblical lens. Okay, so while you have people like this thinking that they're going to debunk what you really are doing is nothing against the truth, but for the truth, no matter what. Because what's that? Luke, is that Luke 11 and 18? Let's see. Well, I think it's Luke 10. Let me try 10 first. Let's try 10. Luke 10 and 18. No, let's go. Let's try 11. Maybe it's 11. I was just reading this. 11 and 18. Okay, no. So I got to go here. It's literally right in my face. Oh, maybe it's Luke 8. Luke 8. I'll just Google it. Sometimes Google does work. I want to keep that one up. Let's go here. Nothing can be hid, KJV. All right. Luke 12. Okay, I was in the wrong one. Luke 12 and 2, it says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." Remember, we are hid in prison houses. We are hid throughout these prison states of America. America is nothing more than the united state of prison for us, i.e. our captivity. So we were hid. We were lost. I was lost, but now I'm found. See? So nothing covered, all right? It's going to be revealed, and neither hid, it's also going to be known. So us, our identity being hid, our nationality being covered up, is now being made known and manifest in these last days. This is why it says in Daniel, knowledge shall increase. I'll snag that, and that'll probably be the lesson. Okay, I just wanted to share this information with you brothers and sisters out there. All right, Daniel's 12 and let's get this. Daniel's 12. And I guess I can read 10. Yeah, let's read 10. Daniel's 12 and 10. It says, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." See, so we are now understanding what's going on. Okay, we are understanding what's taking place because what ultimately our knowledge is being increased. Okay, Daniel 12 and 4, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So now we're being, our knowledge of our history is being increased to the level that we can trace it back all the way to the Egyptian captivity, all the way now to the American captivity. So I'd like to say for any Christian, any rude arrogant Christian that speaks lawfully about our history and says, can you trace back your DNA to Abraham? We can say no, but we can trace back our captivity. We can trace back our captivity from America all the way to Egypt, okay? We can show you biblically and historically our captivities leading up all the way to today, you see? So you can see all the captivity that Israel went through all the way to the Roman. You can see that when that captivity picked back up through the transatlantic slave trade, was that showing you who the Israelites are today. Those that were taken in the transatlantic slavery and brought here to the Americas is the captivity of the Israelites that's spoken about biblically through prophecy and through curses. And we're living in certain states, regions, and cities to this day that our ancestors went through according to prophecy. So I just wanted to do a quick lesson on that. Like I said, I made a playlist. It's called the Underground Railroad through a biblical lens, and we pretty much went deeper into it. If you're interested in it, you know, certain of our people are more interested in our, you know, our civil rights and the chattel slavery than others. So if you are interested in it, here is a documentary we did through the spirit of two major first and last underground stations found here in Rochester, New York, where our church is, the Great Millstone, where our camp is, where the Lord led us through the spirit. Okay, I'm not from here. The brother's not from here. But the spirit brought us to this city. Okay, to what? To preach the gospel through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So the evidence is clear, just like it says in Deuteronomy. The word sign means evidence. So the evidence is overwhelming who the Israelites are today, and you can tell who they are based on our captivity. So, you know, I pray that this lesson was edifying, exhorting to you brothers and you few sincere sisters. I'll also check the comment board. So like I didn't get the brothers' precepts. They posted a lot of beautiful precepts that we, you know, can also bring out. And I will end it on this brother's precept, Jude 1 and 5. It says, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this. See, we once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not. See, so we've been brought back into remembrance, and what a beautiful precept, brother. You know, so Lord's will, I'll maybe copy and paste the playlist in the description. You can just go to my page and go down to the playlist. Lord's will, I'll also make some more playlists of teachings of, you know, the elders, of breaking down Revelations, breaking down Genesis, things that just things of edification for us as a people. And this is just one of them, biblical lens of the Underground Railroad. All right. And if you notice in these last days, we're explaining the history of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the Bible. Okay, through the Bible. So just wanted to share that with you, brothers and sisters. I want to say, Kol Halah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone and do well. Peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.